What is up, you heathens and demons, sinners and saints, beautiful blasphemous bastards? Hope y'all are ready for a dumpster fire. It's been a while since I've been in a dumpster fire. Now, it's going to take us a minute to get there. I'm going to have to set it up because it kind of started on Richard Masson's channel, though it never devolved into a dumpster fire on Richard Masson's channel. But I need to show the 30 minutes or so from that to kind of set up this quick, visceral dumpster fire I participated in today. How y'all doing? Geo Sam was there. This is gonna be interesting. So what's up, secular pagan mom? Halcyonic Kaihu, hopefully I'm not butchering your name, says, I just followed you on Twitter. Handle starts at what it says there. I don't want to blast that. I have a question for you. Can you message me there? I try to find you on Twitter. I suck at Twitter. I should be able to find you if you just followed me, but for some reason I can't. So having issues. So either heart something, that I posted so I can see that, or message me at theragingatheist@gmail.com. The specific wording is in the top left corner of your screen. It's DA Raging Atheist. A lot of people will go ahead and put The Raging Atheist, but it's Duh Raging Atheist. So shoot me an email. I'd be interested in hearing your question and having a discourse with you. I saw Spooky is here. Who else we got here? Let's go all the way down. Udef is here. Geo Sam, KCA Randy, Jason Jacoby, Gurmania. What's up, Gur? Maynard Saves, Jay Pasick. Yeah, things are suspect if Geo Sam witnessed it. So I think it was KCA asked if I was going to be responding to CJ in this. I just saw that CJ had responded to my video that I put out a few days ago, my stream that I put out a few days ago. It's not the Bible, it's the Christian right. I thought you was talking about that. You was probably talking about the debate I had with CJ. That'll come up, but no, this won't be a response to that. This will be a response to something that happened today. Richard had William Freeman on his channel, and I was watching, and it doesn't seem like William was really ready for Richard. So Richard opened it up, and some of us came in, and I can't help myself. I started poking at William a bit. So it became this me and William thing that would set up us needing to go to Wild Heart stream because, Richard doesn't really like to do politics. And William wouldn't follow me, but Crypto would. And it would become this vicious thing. But you guys will see when we get there. Now, I have my links in the description. If you want to tip the channel, I don't have super chats, but if you want to support the channel, help me continue being the Raging Atheist. I have links in the description where you can become a patron. You can tip the channel, and I can, which I need to actually move that. You can leave a comment and I can read it and thank you for the donation. I also got my merch store back up, which I've got a lot of work to do with it. But, we've got the OG Raging Atheist shirt back up, designed by Megan and Dr. Josh of Digital Hammurabi, I might add. Hot item. Links are in the description. Help out your boy if you can. If you can't, I understand. I'm Po too. But this was fucking hot, y'all. This was fucking hot. And it's been a while since I've been in a dumpster fire. Now, I'm not on any of my medications anymore. I'm not drinking anymore. I'm not smoking weed anymore. I think I was on my best behavior. I honestly do. I think I was on my best behavior. But I'll let you guys determine that. Maybe I'm the asshole in all of this. But I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, we are going to have an actual white supremacist as a part of this. You're going to see him immediately. I think you'll be able to determine which one it is, even though you won't be able to understand a fucking word he says, because we could barely understand a fucking word he says. I don't know if it's a white supremacist thing that they don't know how to have microphones or use microphones, but definite white supremacist is going to be a part of this, even though you won't understand anything he said. I couldn't understand hardly anything he said. Oh, this is great, y'all. This is great. This is Confederate statues, the dumpster fire. Let's get into the setup.
Hello, how are we doing?
Doing okay. How is you?
I'm doing all right. I saw this little stream happening, and I was like, you know what? Let me go on. Let me see what you're talking about. I always like talking to William and listening to what he says.
And I always feel blessed whenever you're around. It's such a gift to us mere mortals.
Yeah.
I always feel dirty when I talk to William. Like I have to go take a shower.
Wait,
Very
hold on.
to me,
Which
Knock.
William?
Very.
Will Kincaid or this William? Because there's two Williams when you think about it.
Like, does Will Kincaid even exist anymore?
Richard, do we have a moment that
Not
I can
heard of his
address
death.
Knock on this?
Yeah, you guys, as you two agree, do what you need to do.
Yeah, Knock, I just have to make sure. Do we have any issues that we need to work out so that we can be friends?
Well, I see. Until you quit your militia, we could never be friends. But I enjoy talking to you.
That's unfortunate.
And I will.
All right, so I don't know why people have a hard time understanding that. You know, I'm a lefty. I'm a socialist. I like to hang around fellow lefties and socialists. I've got enough right-wingers in my life. I don't need any more. No, I like talking to William. I don't think he's necessarily a bad dude, and I think we agreed. I'm going to bring William on. We're going to find some spots in our conversation, and we're going to talk about them together. But, like, you know, it's like with Matt Powell. You know, even though I don't consider William an extremist like Matt Powell, I consider William a different kind of extremist, a political right-wing extremist. And no, I'm just not interested in being friends with gun nuts. Like I'd never want to hang around personally with somebody that feels the need to have a gun on them 24/7. It would make me very uncomfortable. But that doesn't mean I don't like you or I can't appreciate the conversations I have with him. I think William's really fun to talk to. I really do.
I'll give up my place for pizza. If anyone else wants to come in, just let me know.
Very kind of you.
Yeah, William, I enjoy talking to you. I think that you're honest. That you don't run away from your positions. I don't really have too many issues with you. I kind of pick on you a lot.
But you just said you just said you feel dirty every time you talk to him. So
Well,
it's
yeah.
I
like-
don't mind that. It's the
Yeah.
thing about me being in a militia. I don't understand why that would.
All right, so imagine this. Midnight is going to do everything he can to come against me. But when he actually has a chance to go to Wildheart and actually come against me, well, coward. Just saying.
would make you not want to be my friend.
Well, because I consider militias to be domestic terrorists. You know, extreme right-wing anti-government militias to me are domestic terrorists.
You added a lot to a militia there to make that point.
Yeah, but like I don't think you run away from that though.
No, but I don't. You're calling us domestic terrorists. You don't know us, and anything that you would know about us, you wouldn't find any terrorism.
I mean, I pretty much consider the entire Trump movement at this point to be domestic terrorists. That's like my opinion, dude. But based on my conversations with William, I don't think that there's, you know, I know he doesn't like that terminology, right? Just like, you know, the little that I saw of CJ Cox today, CJ Cox doesn't like my terminology when I say that, oh, thank you very much. I can't quite see who you are, but I can go right here. CJ Cox doesn't like my terminology. The fuck? Why isn't it showing shit? Oh, wrong one. All right. CJ Cox doesn't like my terminology when I say things like, "Does the Bible hate Christian or homosexuals, or Christians hate homosexuals?" He thinks that CJ Cox thinks that he can have an opinion that homosexuality is an abomination, and that's not hatred. I disagree. But it's kind of like the same thing. And thank you, Udhef, for the $5 donation for the feet and insulin. Thank you very much. Yeah, I need all the help I can get, so that's going to go a long way. Thank you very much. So as I mentioned, we've got about a half an hour to kind of set this up. So the dumpster fire is not going to come until I get over into Wildheart stream, but this is going to set up everything. Now, you can probably tell which one's the white supremacist. He's in the room right now. I'm gonna let you guess which one. But if you can't see it, let's go to full screen. Let's see if it's gonna actually show at full screen. It's not. Of course it's not. Let me take that off of there. Let's take that off of there. Display capture. Boom. All right. So that'll give you a better picture. Can you guess which one might be the white supremacist in the group? I'm not going to say. I'm going to let you guess.
Or harming anyone. We don't harm people.
Well, until they come to your house, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's with anyone, though. Anyone that
Well, I think technically, given some of Midnight's comments about the Holocaust and neo-Nazis back in the day, maybe. But no, I'm not talking about Midnight.
tries to break into my house, I'm going to defend my house.
Well, not break in. We've had this conversation. I'm not trying to overtake.
Well, no, I just want you to justify why you dislike me, whether it's just to.
All right, I guess I need to give you guys a hint. It's the one that has the swastikas, in their little avatar there. It's that one.
Because of this rhetoric that you've developed about me.
Midnight is a
whether
groomer.
There's something genuinely that you think that I've done that was.
I need to know about that.
Harmful to people.
I know. Like Midnight hates me, and I talk shit about Midnight, so it wouldn't surprise me. Well, I think your spinning of militias as not domestic terrorist groups is harmful.
Well,
especially. Real quick. So Ziamara, you're the kind of gun nut I could get behind. Like if you don't feel the need to have it when you come over to my house, but William's not that kind of gun nut. Like people like my dad. My dad has a lot of guns. I love my dad. My dad doesn't bring his guns to my house.
Is it possible that you're the one spinning?
No. Oh yeah, I forgot to.
I think I go by.
I forgot to say I got the stream bot working again. So yeah, that should be working. What you've told me.
Well, anything that I've told you hasn't implied that we do any harm.
Sure it has.
Okay, can you be specific?
Well, I mean, for one, you've talked about when the orders. Yeah, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. If you're an adult and your partner, you start talking to your partner when they're 13. Not a good thing. Come down. So if there is an order that comes down, right now we're facing Christian nationalism, extreme right wing. Definitely some grooming there.
We're talking about me.
Without a doubt. We're talking about these militia groups that you associate with.
You said some things that aren't true. Just then, you said that I said that orders come down when you asked me specifically if I would refuse to do certain things, and I told you, yeah, absolutely. You even what was the Dr. Doom looking fellow? What was Death End? He even asked me, so you don't answer to anybody. You choose what you do and what you don't do. And I said, yes, exactly right. And he goes, well, then you're rebels because you don't have a chain of command.
Dr. Doom looking fellow. That's funny.
Quick pause. Would anyone drop out to allow Jamie Russell in?
Yes, I can do that. Cheers,
Thank
Richard.
you, sir.
Congrats.
Cheers and respect. Thank you.
And yes, I understand that, Ox, and you was there, so you heard you heard my explanation, and I that's in like 40, 50 minutes, so I'll go ahead and give it. A lot of white supremacists will use the ancient symbols as an attempt to kind of mask themselves, but where you're not going to be able to understand a fucking word he says, like the last thing he says comes through. It should come through clear enough for you to hear it because it came through clear enough for us to hear it.
Later, Wild Hearts hairdo.
Hey, I'm staying.
But you
Man, I have to keep stopping because the chat's funny. Bugs, that's funny. Who are we canceling today? That's going to become the issue, kind of, because I'm not really canceling anybody. I don't think I cancel anybody. I don't think having a position of tearing down Confederate statues is canceling anybody, especially my position of tearing down Confederate statues. I won't really get in a chance to get into my position, but you'll see once we get there.
get that we can be friends if you will work through this and understand that you're painting me wrong.
I think that we can be cordial, but again,
You were a member of Antifa, or you were a part of that. That's a militia.
I was a member of Antifa a long time ago.
Right,
I don't associate myself with my. All right, and I was never a member of Antifa, so like that's something he said. I should have went back at him immediately. I was never a member of Antifa. I worked alongside Antifa during some protests. I've been a longtime supporter of Antifa. Now, I'm not a supporter of some of their modern tactics. I haven't been part of many protests recently. I was a part of a couple BLM protests up in Grand Rapids a couple summers ago. And yes, there were some Antifa members right alongside me in that protest. Modern Antifa. Although I will defend them if I feel like they need to be defended.
But they're a militia.
No, they're not.
Okay, how do you differentiate between Antifa and a militia?
Antifa is a philosophy. It's anti-fascism. If you're talking about the modern group, I think that there's huge differences between them and these so-called anti-government militias. Antifa stands against fascism. So, if you go anywhere and there's a KKK rally going, you're gonna sometimes, but usually not.
And
you're gonna find Antifa with Confederates, with fascists, with KKKs of the world, but also in the modern times, in the world in the country that we're living in right now, where Christian nationalism is on the rise, where your president Donald Trump is literally
not in office.
Donald Trump is not president.
Okay, guys, a little bit of
the idiocy of the people I deal with sometimes. I clearly said your president. I didn't say the president. There's a difference.
A little bit of administration. First of all, I love you all equally. Second, Jamie, please see your way out of that conversation until invited. And guys, a little bit bigger pauses between ideas. I don't want this polite, slight over talking to become escalated and get out of control between the two of you, please.
Well, yeah. So to finish my point, in this modern world, and when I say your president, I'm referring to the fact that Donald Trump's going to be running again, and that Donald Trump claims that he is still president, should still be president, and most of his supporters do as well. But in this modern world of the rise of Christian nationalism, the rise of the Trump movement, the insurrection of January 6th, the violence that is being suggested by all of these militia groups across the fucking board right now, I think that it goes to reason that I should stand against anybody that associates with them.
Okay, so I don't want to say you're bigoted towards me, but you don't really understand.
Yeah, I fucking love that. Being quote unquote bigoted against fascists. That's not a bad bigotry. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Now, am I bigoted towards William? No, I quite clearly said, hey, I enjoy talking to you. I couldn't consider myself your friend so long as you are a part of one of these extreme right-wing militias. And just go back and listen to our conversations. I think I have a good reason to say that.
And the things that you're talking about that I'm involved in, I have a firsthand knowledge of what I'm about. And so by implication, I'm a liar. And no, I get it. But understand that I have tried multiple times to open a possibility for you and I to get along.
Well, I think we do get along. Getting along doesn't. So if I say that we can't be friendly, doesn't imply that we don't get along. I get along with Matt Powell sometimes, but we're not friendly. I think I get along with you far better than I ever would with a Matt Powell type.
Right, but most of my friends, I don't impugn their character. At every possible chance, especially when it's unwarranted.
Well, again, I've quite plainly said that I don't consider us friends, but I don't think that I impugn your character. I think I repeat the things that you've told me that you try to kind of weasel your way out of.
And why would I try?
All right, so I don't impugn his character. I try to say the reality. A lot of people play nice with William. I'm not that person. I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to play nice with you when I fucking despise your politics. You know, when you say the things that you've said about women and abortion, I'm not. I'm not going to be friendly with you, and I'm not going to sugarcoat my opinion of you. But I came in here to poke at William because I like poking at William, and it often breeds pretty decent conversation between me and William. But it was probably the wrong place to do it. I wasn't trying to overtake Richard Matson's stream here. It just kind of happened. I didn't mean to. I honestly didn't mean to.
Try to weasel my way out of something, and then you still turn around and say that I don't run and that I stand and say what I think. So I mean, which is it?
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I think you can do both.
No, you can't. Weaseling your way out of something is the opposite of standing your ground.
Well, I mean, you stand firm in your position that you're in a militia, but you've changed what this militia is about 1,000 different times.
No, you tried to make it fit into 1,000 different boxes, and none of them worked because they were part of a narrative that doesn't really apply to reality.
Well, none of them work because you don't really expand on it. So whenever me and Dr. Doom tried to like really go in depth, you don't expand on it. So it went from this movement that's thousands of groups strong to, hey, we're like 10 people that get together. It went from orders coming down. It went from like bodyguard work that you do for this group to like there's like 10 of us, so it's like it's hard to really put a label on exactly where you are.
Security is not a bodyguard. And which question that you asked did I not answer, honestly, or at all?
I don't know, man. I have to go back and watch.
Yeah, but I've gone back and I've watched them. I didn't avoid any of your questions.
I think you have, but I mean that's a matter of opinion. Right?
Well, I mean, if you'll compile them, I'm happy to participate. But I really
guys,
think
that sounds like a temporary stalemate, that you guys are at a slight impasse.
Yeah, well, I definitely don't want this conversation.
Like questions of the other so you can move on with it.
Well, no, yeah, I don't want this conversation. William, I'll have you back on my channel and we can hash through our personal differences. If you're asking, like, I try to be honest with you. Like, I don't consider you like a dangerous threat or anything, but like, yeah, I mean, as long as you associate with a group like that, we could never be like quote unquote friends. Yeah, that's just
understand that's your choice.
Sure, it's my choice. It's my choice not to be friends with Matt Powell as well, even though he wants to go on dates.
He's not a bad looking guy.
Okay, can I add something in here or no?
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. Yeah, I don't want to like.
Well, no, I was just asking because Richard,
I don't want my poking at William to overcome the stream.
Yeah, I know. I'm just asking because Richard slighted, but not slighted. Richard said to Jamie to not butt in, so that's why I was asking if I could say something really quick.
All right, I hope you guys are ready for the brilliance of midnight. And man, I need to move this so I can see that shit. Let's bring this down here. Let's bring that down there. Antifa donated $10. Thank you so much, Antifa. Good to see the Antifa representation up in the house tonight.
I was being polite. Hello?
Oh, yeah, go for it. But real quick before you do, I want to address flow state because this notion of me being bigoted towards right-wing anti-government militia groups, I find hilarious. But I'm not surprised considering Flow State's a deeply right-wing libertarian type fuckwad to begin with. So
I like Flow State a lot. I think he's really cool. Anyway, yeah, Sparkle, go ahead, man. You're not interrupting us anymore. We're done.
Okay. First of all, Rage, Rage, you said it's a matter of opinion.
And I am seeing, I need to stop it real quick. Thank you, Jason Jacoby, for your $10 donation on my PayPal. Thank you very much for that.
And whether William answered your questions or not. Well, no, no. It is objective. All you have to do is go watch the stream and pay close attention as to
Sure.
whether.
Have you watched them?
No, I
Right.
didn't.
All right.
watch
So
the
when
stream.
I say whether if it's subjective or whatever, me and Dehan clearly feel like William didn't answer our questions and kind of answered
Right,
a lot of the questions in different various ways. But William thinks that he answered them all plainly. So that would be a subjective opinion, right?
Subjective opinion, but you can go back and watch the video to see whether someone did. Like you feel
Flow State's not in it. Flow State will come in it for a minute, I think. But Flow State was another one that didn't follow me over to Wildheart to put it to really give me his stance.
feeling that I feel like William didn't answer it. Then okay, like I'm not trying to devalue to invalidate what you feel. Like I'm just saying.
Well, it's not based on feelings. It's based on the experience. I was in the stream, right? Like, I don't need to go back and watch it to have a recollection of the stream I was a part of, right?
Hey, maybe that would help, though. Hey, I was just thinking, we don't need.
No, it's not Flow State. Top right-hand corner, his name is He will start speaking at one point, and his microphone is really low and distorted, and you can't understand a word he says. But he will go on several different tirades against me, and then, oh God, he's a fucking racist. Well, but I'm not going to spoil it. We'll get there when we get there.
To take up Richard's show doing this, but if you want to, I would love to sit down again with you. And you know how you go through other people's streams? Let's go through your stream with me on was it July 4th? The lack of
sure, we could do that. There's been a couple of them. I'd have to go through them and find the time.
No, the one with Dead Hand. Yeah, I'll help you if you want to find it, because I would love to sit down. That way I can show you that I did answer your questions.
Cool. Yeah, we can do that.
All right, cool. And then
And
Richard, go ahead.
I somewhat rudely asked Jamie to wait till you guys were done, but of course it looks like you're done. So Jamie, I want to give you your floor.
On which matter?
Whatever it is you wanted to comment.
All right, so I really have to say, like, Jamie Russell, you're a fucking coward, dude. Like you came in and you were so just like amped to come at the Raging Atheist. Richard Masson is giving you the chance to come at the Raging Atheist, and let's see, does he take that chance?
Comment on.
Oh, I just think I think if I was going to be critical of some of your views, I would say I think they're interesting and worth discussing for insights to what could be going on.
I'm so sorry. I thought you were talking about the conversation between William and
that. Oh,
yeah, don't run away, Jamie. You want to talk shit about me? Go ahead. I'm here.
Forget now. I would say, Antifa. I was just gonna say, like, yeah, they do like the fighting fascism, like spraying old ladies with mace for wearing a red hat that doesn't even say "Make America Great Again," stuff like that. Boom, mic drop.
All right, so, Jamie, if you would like to send me citations on that, I'd be more than happy to look at it. I'm not going to say it's outside the realms of possibility that some fucking Antifa member maced a fucking old lady in a red hat. Sure, is it possible? Yes, but I also know you right-wing fucks like to go around and claim that Antifa goes around murdering people. I also know you right-wing fucks like to put the January 6th insurrection on Antifa. So I kind of need some citation for that. And I didn't really ask you in the stream. So if you're listening, or if anybody knows Jamie, tell Jamie, please send me some fucking citation on that.
Drop Antifa. Yeah, last thing. Man, I had a zinger, but now it's kind of left me. But like,
Pick the mic back up. You dropped it. You got to pick it back up.
Yeah, right. Sorry, hold on, let me bend over. Okay, so do you? Is it like Fight Club where like?
All right, and just for context, The only person in the room right now that's going to actually be a part of the dumpster fire is white supremacist boy up in the top right corner, right above me right now. But again, you can't understand him. So he's not really a part of the dumpster fire, but he's a part of the dumpster fire. Everybody else, Jamie Russell, Midnight, William's going to leave, Flow State's going to come in. None of them followed me over to Wild Heart to confront me over on Wild Heart's channel. Not a single one of them will actually participate in the dumpster fire.
I'm not an Antifa. First rule of Antifa is that it doesn't exist. So I want to pressure you.
No, wait, hold on. First word of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. It says nothing about the
my bad.
Yeah, it's kind of different from
Tyler
existing
Durden down there.
But I think I've made it fairly plain in my streams every time I've talked about it. And especially in the streams with William, I think I made it fairly plain that, while I've never really considered myself an active member of Antifa, I did used to work with them quite a lot in when it comes to especially bringing down historical statues of fascists. But I've clearly stated that some of the tactics of modern Antifa I do not agree with. I don't know the truth about like throwing shit at old ladies or not, but I wouldn't put it past them.
Well, do you think? I thought CJ straightened you out on the statue thing. Like, I get it. I just think at a certain point, like, it'll never.
Fucking CJ. I'm going to speak for myself here. But CJ didn't straighten me out on the statue thing. I won the debate with CJ. Since the debate with CJ, I've considered my stance, and I think I've actually become a bit more moderate on my stance when it comes to Confederate statues. And I have made that plain as fucking day. Anybody that follows me closely understands that about me. UDF understood that about me immediately. So it's not like it's a secret that I am for bringing down Confederate statues. It's not a secret that I had a much more extreme position not even 2 years ago than I do today. There's no secret there. What?
Like, we got to take down George Washington's statue.
I totally won that debate with CJ. What are you talking about?
That's fine. I get it. I just think it is a slippery slope in real life.
If anything, I should have been the one that set CJ straight, but he still doesn't seem to get that, like we shouldn't be celebrating fascists.
I was messing with you, but do you want every, because history happens and develops. So do you want to take down, you'd have to take down everything.
Well, I want to take down these statues from public spaces. I don't want to erase the history. That's something that we went through in that debate with CJ. And I've made that very clear. I'm all for a federal museum, a national museum, that would relate the true history of it, relate the true atrocities committed against slaves, relate the true atrocities, the true words, the things that General Lee actually did to his slaves and started instead of trying to paint him as the greatest slave owner in the history of America. I would rather we talk the truth about what happened instead of idolizing and immortalizing fascists.
So do you believe in fighting fascists?
Yes, I believe in Antifa's original cause. Back in the day when they were in Italy and they were skinning fascists alive. I'm totally down for that. And that is truth. That's me being fucking dead ass true to you. I remember when I first started The Raging Atheist, I made this video, and it brought me a lot of hate from white supremacists everywhere. And it was just a video of Indiana Jones punching Nazis over and over again. And YouTube took it down for hate speech, right? But no, I think fascism, especially the modern form. So fascism was technically created. I believe it was Mussolini in Italy, and then the Germans came and did their thing. But you can apply that ideology to all of those before it. So I can look at the American government under Andrew Jackson. And the atrocities committed to Native Americans, and see the fascist tendencies there, right? So maybe technically not fascism because technically fascism didn't exist, but I can see the fascism in that.
I agree that we should fight fascists too. That's why I like to fight Antifa.
So how is Antifa fascist?
Well,
because they try to silence any other opinion than their own. completely silence,
How
even
so?
using force. Just like they protest and try to prevent people, and I say protest, they riot and keep speakers from speaking at colleges and stuff like that.
Fascist speakers?
Well, you can call anyone a
Yeah, I totally agree. And punching Nazis is objectively moral, to me, without a doubt. But this response here from William is fucking classic.
fascist. I just did that with.
Well, I think Richard Spencer's a fascist. Wouldn't you agree? And that's mainly
do you think that
that's the
Ben
most
Shapiro is a
popular one
fascist?
that people talk about.
Do you think Ben Shapiro is a fascist?
Fuck yeah, I do. Christian
Hey,
nationalist.
I have an
A
anecdote.
little Jewish fascist boy.
You know, I understand that Ben Shapiro is Jewish, but he placates to the Christian nationalist of the country. So yes, I consider him a fascist. Hell yeah, without a doubt. He
word
definitely
fascist-
exhibits fascist
this word
tendencies.
You don't
Fascist
understand what
thrown around.
fascism is.
Yeah,
I work
the
next to
word-
Chaz, so I know you can't. I've lived
Well, hang on.
experience here.
You know, my opinion is if you are a Donald Trump supporter, there's 9 out of 10 chance you're a fucking fascist.
This world, the word fascist gets thrown around so much. I feel like it's lost its fucking meaning.
You know, you can always look it up and try to find out who's actually fascist.
But I have a question. But
You don't think the Confederacy was fascist?
The Confederacy? You okay, the Confederacy was fascist.
Like the slave trade, you don't consider that as a fascist act?
Do I think that slaves it's oppressing, it's more racist than it is anything else.
Okay.
Fascist is using force to silence opposition.
Slavery had nothing to do with race. It's the people in Africa that didn't have no money to trade with, so they traded people in. And the people who bought them, they brought them to a different land where they just recuperated their money at the market.
That's fair. It's not racist. You're
Can
right.
you guys hear him? Because like he's gonna have
Yeah.
to spring for a new mic.
No, I think he's in a vehicle, but yeah, he's right. Yeah, I was wrong. It's not racist because he's absolutely correct. It was, it wasn't just blacks, and it was just they were a product, and that's the way they viewed other human beings, and so that's what's wrong. What fascist as far as trying to silence your opposition using force, like there's no reason to even call something.
All right. So, and I completely recognize my my views on fascism might be a bit more extreme than most, but my views on fascism comes directly from the definition of fascism. Something I have done entire streams in dedication to. I've really tried to break down in several streams, several videos, edited videos, my stance on fascism and what I think fascism is.
A democracy if there's a fascist element.
Sorry, I was talking to my child. I only caught the end of that. So, like, if I don't consider America when slavery existed within America to be a democracy. When they were considered
We're not a democracy now.
we're a republic, but like I don't see any democracy in subjugating and enslaving human beings and committing atrocity against my peoples and Native Americans.
You're not.
Yeah, I think we are. Say what?
You're not Native American.
My heritage is.
Yeah, well, Native Americans are not normally willing to give up their weapons to the white man after learning what they learned.
So because I'm anti-gun, you take away my heritage. This is why we could never be friends.
Clearly, you don't represent them.
So clearly, I'm one of the few people that I think do try to represent Native American peoples. I talk about Native American issues all the time. Just because I'm anti-gun doesn't mean I'm not Native American. Now, I'm not full-blooded Native American. I'm not even half-blooded Native American. I've often talked about this. But me being anti-gun doesn't take away my heritage. That's very fucking racist. And while I will agree, most Native Americans would never give up their guns, to sit there and say that no Native American is anti-gun is just a bold-faced lie. I've met several that are. I've met several Native Americans that are as lefty as I am, as anti-gun as I am. So, I mean, it's just a ridiculous, racist-ass notion. And exactly, this is exactly why I could never be friends with a person like William Freeman. And it's exactly why I will never placate, I will never sugarcoat, I will never just be nice for the sake of being fucking nice. It drives me crazy. I'm not going to lie. When I see y'all being nice to this fuck, it drives me nuts.
Okay, Rage, I have a quick question for you. You said you want to remove statues.
Bring your hate, Midnight, you right-wing bastard.
The
Okay,
ultimate
you know what?
whitey.
Fuck off, because I am not a right-wing bastard.
I'm trying to make him one. He just won't cooperate.
If you're not a right-wing bastard, how come you combat me on every left-wing position that I have? If you're not a right-wing bastard, why did you make the fucking comments you made about Nazis? I mean, I'm just asking. I'm asking. What the fuck is your politics, Midnight? What the fuck is your stance outside of anti-rage? I don't get it. You know, their whole grooming thing is something new to me. But I don't pay attention to Midnight very much.
But anyways, as I was gonna ask you, like, why do you want to remove statues from public places?
Because we shouldn't be immortalizing slave owners.
But you just said you're fine. You're fine with putting them in a museum, so that's still
Yes.
immortalizing.
No,
no
that's
sense.
that is
You're attacking
history
not attacking slave owners. It was
recognizing them
business
historically.
information.
All right, so that fuck that was speaking in the background there, that's the white supremacist. You couldn't understand a fucking word he said.
Okay, quick point of
You're basically
management.
attacking
YM, we can't hear you anyway. Randolph Richardson's trying to come in. YM, please come back in when you reach your destination.
All right, so I guess his name is YM. In the Wild Heart stream, his name was AUM or some shit like that. I've never seen the dude before. But like I knew immediately as soon as I saw his avatar what the fuck he was.
And we're able to easily hear you. For now, thank you for your very difficult participation.
I can
but
also.
for now, YM, would you please excuse yourself so Randolph Richardson can come in?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and also thank you, Richard, for having me on, and
Thank
I'd
you.
like to do it again. Maybe I'll prep for a topic next time so that we can have a much more in-depth discussion.
All right, I dropped my daughter's like little blood sugar monitor, and it's on the rise, so I need to look at it. I also need to turn on my light. I'm gonna let this play for a second. I'll be right back. Damn,
But
you got to go to work, William?
No, not tonight, huh?
Well, then why are you leaving?
Because I
He
have
said he'd give us an hour.
and a family.
He gave us an hour and almost a half. That's pretty good, I think.
Yep.
Hold on, I've got a few more minutes. Was there something specifically that you wanted to address with me?
No, you're cool. You can leave.
Okay, because I don't want you to say that I'm weaseling out of anything. I'm right here if you got a question.
Well, I mean, look, you using that raccoon gif already means you're weaseling out, okay? Because
Do not
All right, we're kind of getting to the end of the setup here, and it's going to be rather quick once we get over to the Wild Heart stream when the dumpster fire is going to start. I do want to say hello to Sammy, everybody that's joined. Thank you, Sammy, for being my newest Patreon. I am right now coming up with like my first, concepts of my first blog that I want to write. I am going to try to start doing some video content. I want to make Patreon worth people going over there and becoming a patron, and I hardly ever do anything on Patreon. I haven't done anything on Patreon in quite a while, but I am going to at least start doing blogs, the occasional video shit, and I'm going to figure out some other things that I can do on Patreon as well.
raccoons are little
use
weasels.
raccoons and weasels. No, no.
Fair enough.
All
Fair
right,
enough.
but seriously, Knock, you one question, whatever it is, go ahead.
No, I don't have no questions
Okay.
for you.
All right. Thanks, Richard.
Now, maybe at one point, I'll actually go back and watch William's conversation with Richard Mattson when it comes to like the religion conversation that they had, because it was funny. Now, despite my poking at William, I actually find William's religious ideas to be fairly moderate and acceptable and way better than a lot of Christians I've talked to. My issues with William are mainly around his politics. But the conversation with William and Richard Mattson is a great display of how normal Christians have a really hard time with Richard Mattson. Oh, thank you so much, Geo Sam. I won a math debate, so here's a 10 spot. Thank you so much. It's so needed right now. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Randolph Richardson. We've
William-
all paused so you
William
can speak,
rocks.
Randolph.
All right, so that comment right there, the one I just made, William rocks. I'm responding to Cryptomeria in the side chat saying that exactly. William rocks. So that comment that I just did might be the whole fucking reason that the fire, the dumpster fire is going to pop off. Maybe. I don't know. But, you know, like I said, it kind of drives me mad when I'm seeing people be nice to fucking William Freeman. So I definitely made a comment there based off of a comment from Cryptomeria in the side chat.
Randolph,
we're getting no audio from you.
And Richard, if I can just say, Halsey, if you read Halsey,
his mic is frozen. Sorry, bro.
Oh yeah, I put a message in the private chat that I needed a couple minutes.
Now I hear you.
Yeah. You got to check your private chat. How are you doing?
It's just too much. I'm not that bright. Peace and respect to you.
Thank you very much, Ox, for joining my Patreon. And so Randolph Richardson is one of my favorite atheists out there. He has this no-nonsense, very nice quality to him. He's fucking Canadian, and most Canadians are really, really nice. Like, even Misha Popoff, that was, like, the weirdest thing about Misha Popoff, right? Because he was so fucking Canadian. So, like, he's this, like, jovial sort that you want to like, you know, because he's so jovial, but then the words that come out of his fucking mouth are just pure hate. That's not Randolph Richardson, though. Randolph Richardson is a fucking nice dude. I really like Randolph Richardson.
You, Randolph. Welcome. And I am doing now expectedly well. I'm getting used to the idea over the course of the last decade. How are you?
Good. I've got suddenly a bunch of people showed up here, but that's okay. I'll just turn off the screen from time to time for that. So it's great to see you finally get on a stream with you.
Yeah, you as well. And the structure you're presently in, is that the one I've been watching you build?
No, this is inside. What has been building? It's sort of looking like this now.
Does that place have an inside as well?
Yeah, we'll get to that. So this is what the outside looks like.
But you said, but you're inside right now, like that would be
No,
different.
I'm outside. I just walked out the door. Where I was before was inside. Okay. So this is outside. And doorway here. So I'll just turn on the lights. There we go.
That's actually a pretty large space, isn't it?
It is.
Randolph been building that shit forever, and man, he did a hell of a job. I couldn't do that, and I used to do that kind of work, but I couldn't do that basically by myself. I think he's had some help at moments, but it's basically been by himself.
Fit two Suburbans bumper to bumper in here and still have room to open the doors, so it's decent. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it goes quite a ways. So we got lots of space here. I've just in the process.
And would you show the purpose of that new room, please?
The idea is going to be an office for me, as well as being the future studio of the True North Talk call-in program. So some things came up. We have to sell the place, so we're probably not going to finish the studio until I move to the new place. So it's unfortunate, the timing. It's just the way everything goes, right? So, but that's okay. I'm still, I've got this almost to a finished state where all I need to do is insulate and put up walls and we're ready to go. So it's a little disappointing on the timing on that one. But speaking of community stuff, on August 27th, for anybody who's in this area, British Columbia, Canada, Greater Vancouver area, we're holding a in-person get-together community event in a park, and we'll be having a nice kind of picnic-like thing at 1 p.m. just after lunch, and then go for a stroll through the park, just kind of building community. And we're planning to do this the last Saturday of every month. We wanted to do this when the pandemic started, and we had to put everything.
I'm impatient. I want to get to the dumpster fire. But I need to set up the end of this going over to Wild Hearts, I think. So, but I want to get to the dumpster fire. It was fucking cray-cray.
Thing on hold, so it's been a couple of years in the making. So, and it's free. People can just come and show up. That's.
I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, we're almost through. We're almost
Which
through this
part of
part.
British Columbia?
Greater Vancouver area. It's in Burnaby Central Park.
Hey, Richard.
Yes. Yes, midnight. Go ahead.
Sorry. I mean Randolph. My bad. Hey, Randolph.
Yes.
Hey,
How are you?
Randolph. How's my favorite albino, not albino, doing?
You keep accusing me of being albino.
I know. I said albino, not albino. Okay.
Yeah, there's a slash in there. So
Yes.
yeah, no, I'm doing pretty good. So yeah.
I'm sorry. Just look at him. Okay. Just look at him. Okay. He's fucking
got
albino. Okay. I don't give a shit what his doctor says. He's albino.
No, he's got white hair. That's all. That doesn't make you albino.
I see a little red in his complexion. I don't see albino.
Yeah.
That's the Scottish heritage, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like giving him shit for it because it's.
All right, so I'd like to address Midnight's absurdity. So there's a huge difference between like putting these statues in a national museum and having them on public squares. Like let's say like somebody enslaved your ancestors. Midnight, would you want to go on a public square and see those very same people immortalized with a bust?
Hold on. I want to answer you. Was I the one enslaved or were my ancestors?
Your ancestors.
Okay, well, it's tragic what happened, but just because I see a statue, just because I see a statue of somebody who did that to my ancestors, like it's.
So you're telling me
I don't want to come off. I don't want to come off as like.
So well, you're telling me that you can't empathize with, let's say, a black person in America.
That's.
Well, are you going to let me finish my statement? I'm making a statement here.
No, because I will not let you say that about me. Okay, just because.
Well, you seem to think it's a ridiculous notion to remove these statues from public squares, and I think that's fucking ridiculous.
Hey, Rage. Okay, you. Wow, I hate stuttering.
So my statement was going to be, can you not empathize with a black person going into a public square, seeing a statue of General Lee and wanting that statue taken down?
Yes, I can empathize with them.
So what's the issue?
All I do is empathize with people, you asshole.
Well, then what's the issue, and why are you standing against my position that these statues should be taken down then? If you can actually empathize.
Oh, if I can actually empathize. Okay, you don't know
Sure.
what the fuck empathy is at all.
Then explain it to me, because all right, so I don't know what empathy is. I don't know what fascism is. Funny. It's funny because, it seems like I am the one that's able to empathize with the issue. And again, my stance is a lot more moderate there, and I just kind of laid it out. My stance is that these statues need to be taken down. For one, we need to go through legal means. We need to go through state municipalities. We need to go through state legislatures. Try to get these statues taken down in a peaceful and an organized and a lawful way. That's much more moderate than I was in the past, because my position in the past was tear them the fuck down, and I've participated in that. But there does come a point when state legislatures and state municipalities will refuse to do so, that people do need to take it into their own hands, I believe. I'm the one. I think you're not the one understanding here.
Rage, at the end of the day...
Explain it to me, dude. If you just made a claim that I don't understand what empathy is, so explain it. Or shut up. One of the two.
Oh, really? You would like me to shut up, right? Good little.
I think you probably should, because I don't think you're doing yourself any justice here.
Right, if I could attempt to be a peacemaker.
Yeah, there is no peacekeeping. There is no peacemaking here.
I see you, Flow State. Just the room is full if you're willing to hang out for a minute.
Oh no, Richard. We can switch over to my channel if you want. I can set a stream. You'll be.
It was down south when I lived in North Carolina, and then there was a couple protests that I participated in, where I went back down south to participate in them. But the first one I ever participated in what happened in Chapel Hill back in the 90s at some point. I can't remember exactly when.
Be able to get 10 people in. There'll still be your stream, but
No, he's already here.
Chapel Hill, North
It's
Carolina.
how
It would be absolutely fine with me, despite Sparkle's objection. Sparkle might actually change their mind and join one of your streams so that more people can come in and have conversation. I think we have exhausted.
All right, so we're getting to the end of this, and we're getting to where Wildheart is going to start his stream. Let's go on up here because we can go ahead and probably get to the dumpster fire. So, you know, Richard doesn't really like politics. I didn't really mean to overtake his fucking shit. But I was poking at William. A lot of people wanted to jump in on that. Midnight loves to try to jump in to go against me, and he pretty much loses every time. So I don't understand why Midnight still tries to do this shit. My opinion of Midnight is really low. It has been for a really long time. It has been ever since the fucking Nazi comments way back in the day. Yeah, and I've never really hid that. I've never really fucking hid that. But so we're gonna get into the dumpster fire part. It's not going to take long to get there. Richard wanted to shut the stream down, so Wildheart had an after party. Now, only one of those people are actually going to follow me over. Midnight's not going to follow me over to continue the conversation. Jamie Russell isn't going to follow me over to continue the conversation. Flow State was about to come in, didn't really get a chance to say much. Flow State's not going to follow me over to get his say in on the conversation. But I'm going to let you guys check it out, see what happened. Now, it's not any surprise that I get into dumpster fires. I get into dumpster fires quite a lot. But this is the first dumpster fire I've gotten into since I have started my new life of sobriety. Now, I think that, you know, while I am talking fast, I am on my best behavior, I do believe. And I think I've been fairly decent behavior. I think I'm going to have fairly decent behavior through the rest of it. I'll let you guys be the determining factor in that. You know, if you guys say that I'm the asshole in all of this, well, then I'll listen to you and I will look at myself. But I so far, I just don't think that I'm really the asshole. I'm espousing my opinions, my beliefs. I think that we should be fighting against fascism. I don't think we should be immortalizing slave owners. I don't think we should be immortalizing people from our past who are not good people. I don't care if they're founding fathers. I don't care if they're Christopher Columbus. I don't care if they're Confederate generals. My opinion is I don't want to immortalize those people. Now, do I want to erase history? No, I do not. I don't want to whitewash history at all. I want to tell the true, accurate history of it all. It's why I support critical race theory. It's why I support teaching this history in the classroom, but teaching the real history, not the whitewashed version of it, which is what the right wing wants to do. So we're going to get into the dumpster fire aspect. It's not going to take long. Let's get at it.
Right, we are new live. We are new live. We are now live. So this is the Richard Madsen after show. Richard and Will after show, should have called it.
Yeah, thank you, Spaciest. I feel so much better. I feel so much clear-headed than I have in years. I'm losing weight. I'm not drinking. Like drinking, the liquor was tearing up my guts. All the medications I was on. Even when I stopped drinking for that period of time, the medications had me slap fucked up all day long, every day. So I'm off of all of that, and I feel so much better. Like even my feet, even though they still hurt, it doesn't seem like they hurt as bad as they did when I was on those medications to make them stop hurting. I think oftentimes doctors try to medicate us to fix us, when that can oftentimes, I think, be the wrong course to take.
So we're gonna basically. I've got a new PC. So
Yeah, that's totally true, Monkey for Banana. You know, the constant kiss ass of Smokey Saint by midnight. And then like how they would try to fucking deny it was disgusting. Even after the allegations broke.
oh, let me get the layout fixed. Welcome, Nock. Thanks for joining.
Hey, what's up, man?
So I've got a new PC. And the last time I went live, the intro didn't work. It was all jumpy. So I'll start it, see if it works now. And
All right,
then
cool.
if it doesn't, I'll just stop it. So
Cool.
yeah, I'll be right back.
These palm trees, they sway, but each night and each day.
All right, there's going to be a part of this when Wild Heart's going to play a song I'm going to have to skip through. And I guess that wasn't working for Wild Heart because he didn't think it was working, but it was working.
Yeah, so that didn't work. I've got a new PC. It's I don't know if you know about PCs. It's an i7, but I think it might be the graphics card what's not so good. That's why it's struggling with play, which is disappointing because that's a brilliant intro. GeoSam made it for me. Welcome, Quitamaria.
All right, I hope you guys are ready for the dumpster fire. Now, I've never seen Cryptomaria before. This is the first time seeing her in a stream, first time seeing an image of her, and I'm going to comment on that, and it's going to like create issues. I don't get it. But I've often noticed, you know, Cryptomaria, she will say some like rather right-wing shit in the side chats. I've always left it for the chat to kind of go at her. I've never really went at Cryptomaria for some of the shit that she talks. But it started like as soon as she started watching me, it was constant rants against Justin Trudeau and clearly a Canadian right-winger if there ever was one. But I've never commented on it. And I don't know, considering how Cryptomaria has watched me for, I don't know, the last 2 years, how she thought it was going to be a good idea to come and try to have a conversation with your boy.
Thanks, Johnny. Yeah, so, yeah, carry on. This is Richard Madsen After Show, Richard and Will After Show.
Other people will shuffle on. I'm just here for a bit of eye candy until they do.
Thank you very much.
It's my first time ever actually seeing Crypto. How you doing?
You've seen me before, seriously.
No, I mean I've seen you in the side chats, but I've never seen your like actual.
Are you
self.
fucking kidding me?
Yeah, no, never.
Oh wow.
I mean, if I've never seen you in a stream before, how could I even see an image of you? I don't see what's so controversial of that. But it's funny because she's going to get in the side chat later and she's going to talk about how she was on my Patreon. And I'm like, I have to tell her, like, did you post pictures on my Patreon? Like, I don't know what anybody looks like on my Patreon unless I've seen them in a stream. I know what Sammy looks like. I've seen Sammy in a stream. I can't go to my fucking Patreon unless he posts a picture there to know what he looks like. Oh, this is what I deal with, y'all. This is what I deal with.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Hey.
No,
you figure after like kind of throwing a few bucks at your Patreon, you would have actually seen what I look like. But hey, I guess you're no special. And
man, it's crazy the shit she says in the side chat. But I'm not going to be able to get there because the stream actually technically isn't up yet, I don't think. I actually paused it when it was still live just to make sure I still had it. But yeah, just because you're on my Patreon doesn't mean I know what you look like. How could I? Until I actually see you, I can't know what you look like. And I was just commenting, and I was trying to be super nice. You know, I wasn't trying to be a dickhead in any way. I was like, oh, wow, man, this is the first time I've ever seen you. How you doing? And that becomes a fucking problem. And if that becomes a problem, Well, I think we're in store for a dumpster fire. I'm just fucking saying. And hey, how are you doing? Jason Torn, Marty Camejo, Stephanie Tritton. I see Wildheart in the side chat. I did put Wildheart and Richard Masson's link to their channels in my description. So if you're not subscribed to them and you do like watching live conversations, 2 great channels for you to subscribe to, because there are some good live conversations on both of those channels.
More important than me. So.
No, Crypto is a
That's from the bottom of my heart.
she is a beautiful human being.
Well,
Yes.
I'm disappointing. Midnight didn't come over. He had so much to say.
Well, he will.
What
I'm sure he will.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
You know, you start a dumpster fire. You just gotta wait for the kindling to ignite. I'm sure people will shuffle over.
All right, so no dumpster fires have been set yet. I don't consider what transpired on Richard Masson's channel to be a dumpster fire. It was a conversation, heated at times, not a dumpster fire. We're gonna get dumpster fire here, though.
No, we've got 12 viewers already. That is an amazing.
Yeah, there we go. See, they're already starting to come. Like, should have ate extra popcorn.
Right, I've got steak in the microwave as well. This might be a bit of a dumpster fire, so just say what you want, swear as much as you want.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go for a smoke. I'll be right back.
So hopefully Midnight will come. Hopefully Jamie Russell will come and Flow State, because to me, like, for anybody that has an issue with my stance on Confederate statues, I have to ask like, what do you really?
Oh no,
I'm
gonna weigh into this one. I'm gonna weigh into this one because Canada has their own statue debate about this, and it's a whole lot of woke nonsense. But I need a cigarette so I can be polite. So I'll be right back.
Yeah. So the basic point is
all right. So I hope you are getting the preambles to the dumpster fire we're about to have. Woke nonsense, right? So wanting to take down statues of people that fought to keep slavery is woke nonsense. Oh boy.
Statues of slave owners, and you want to get rid of those statues because they were slave owners. Is that I know nothing about America or what goes on.
Well, yeah, especially slave owners. But I don't think that we as a modern society should be glorifying making heroes out of monsters from our past just because they did one specific thing. A perfect example of that would be Christopher Columbus, right? Christopher Columbus supposedly found North America, although he didn't. He wasn't the first one here.
No, he didn't.
He gets accredited with it. And for I don't know, a couple hundred years now, we've glorified this monster who, while in the process of discovering North America, committed atrocity upon indigenous peoples here, took slaves, did many numerous horrible things. And I don't think that we in the modern society should be glorifying making immortal heroes out of these people. And anybody that would like ignore those things, I have to ask about their inner motivations. I find it funny that the people that were coming against me were indeed extreme right-wing political thinkers. And Midnight, especially considering some of their past comments when it comes to neo-Nazis, right? So, I would really like for Midnight to come and explain to me how I don't understand what the word fascism is, and I don't understand what the word empathy is, when I clearly do. But he just takes issue with the things I say, but can't expound on them in a clear and precise manner.
Right. Let me get my biases out of the way. I really like Midnight. I really like Midnight. But I can see what you're saying. Yeah, you should never glorify someone who's committed atrocities. It's just not a good thing to do.
And I don't think that that's an extreme position. But no. I do think it's an extreme position to fight to keep those types of statues up. Most of these statues are a direct result of Jim Crow laws. They were placed intentionally to keep the black man down and in their place. And I think that we need to recognize that as a modern society and move on from it.
Yeah. Like the only reason I could think of would be like historical reasons. If they're like old statues and they have some kind of artistic value, that's the only reason I can really think of. But glorifying person, you shouldn't do that. Yeah,
I mean, Ox makes a great point about the founding fathers. Most of the people that signed our Declaration of Independence were slave owners. I don't think we should erase them from history. They're part of our history. But at the same time, those very same people, I don't think we should. If you're going to talk about them, don't just talk about the good, talk about the bad, and don't immortalize. Like, I'm not a person that's going to immortalize the founding fathers of America as these great people that should never be tarnished when they should be tarnished. If they owned slaves, they should be tarnished.
Oh yeah, let's just burn everything down.
All right, let's just burn everything down. I've been drunk. I'm not gonna make any assumptions on whether or not she's drunk. Clearly emotional though, and hey, I've been there. I'm not gonna talk shit, but it's gonna get bad.
Down. Let's just destroy everything.
How is that burning everything down?
Let's just have a woke moment and just.
How is that woke? What is woke?
Well, maybe it has a different definition here.
Well, what's your definition of woke?
It means dumb policies for dumb political reasons.
So. The
left has gone so far into the crazy realm that it's hard to stand behind some of this and bear with.
The left has gone so far into crazy realm. Like, really, how? The left wants social equality. The left wants social justice. The left wants civil rights. The left wants healthcare to be a right and not a privilege. This anti-woke culture, right? What you tell me when you say, "Hey, fuck woke," so you're literally saying fuck progression. You're saying fuck equality. And yeah, fuck you.
Makes me rage because you're American. You do not see the level of stupidity I see on the West Coast. It's like, Portland North, okay? So if I'm a little upset about, maybe we shouldn't be just destroying everything, because I see that in my city. Not this Canada Day, but the one before, people dumped a sculpture of Captain James Cook into the Inner Harbor because they were so.
Oh yeah, I'm totally for getting rid of Mount Rushmore. Not necessarily as an attempt to erase founding fathers or Abraham Lincoln or whoever else is fucking on it, but for the reasons being laid out in the side chat. It was on stolen land. It was in the Black Hills, very sacred territory to the Sioux Nation, and yeah, just the American government fucking butchered it.
So mad about this colonialist, and he had nothing to do. Basically, he was a glorified pirate, just sort of going around. It wasn't. We've gone so far in Canada that when I see it in the States, it's like all you guys are doing is encouraging bad behavior up here. So I absolutely.
That's the most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. And I've seen some pretty fucking ridiculous takes from Cryptomeria in the past. Ridiculous fucking takes. A big supporter of the whole trucker convoy shit that happened a year ago. Crazy. And I forgot my point, so let's continue. That happens. Even when I don't smoke weed. I always blame that on the weed, but I don't smoke weed anymore. It still happens.
Completely want to say we shouldn't be destroying these sculptures. And in Canada, we never were glorifying them. It never was
All right, that reminds me. So us taking down statues of Confederate leaders leads to bad behavior in Canada? Like, what the fuck are you even talking about, yo? Like, that is the most... that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's dumber than some of the shit Praise was saying last night.
Well, praise be this person. It was... This person did this thing. There's other monuments. Like, we have so many, monuments on both sids.
Yeah, but I don't know how you can build a statue to someone and then claim that that's not glorifying someone.
Well, it was built out of fire.
Yeah, but that's what a statue is. It's glorifying someone. You can't claim that
it was a good Pokemon stop. Like, I wish people would stop messing with public art.
No, I did say that. You might have been aware. Welcome, YVM or UM, is your name? Yeah, but I can't claim how you can. The only justification will be for.
All right, the white supremacist has joined the room, everybody. Now, again, you're still not going to understand much, although it does seem like his mic might be a little louder here than it was on Richard Masson's channel. So a lot of it's going to be blah, 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 blah. And I'm even going to comment on that as we go through this, right? But you will see, and it should come through, his very last comment, the comment that's going to get him kicked from the room, should come through clear as fucking day when it happens.
I can understand in the States people being upset over the whole slavery issue, but we were in Canada, we were the end of the line for the Underground Railway. We've never had these issues here. All of a sudden.
All right, so I'm going to take a guess, and that while that is true, and I guess it was probably the end of the line for a lot of runaway slaves back in the day, I'm guessing they weren't running away to your type, Crypta. I'm just saying that. I think that they were trying to find probably some more liberal-minded folk.
Now we have all these racist problems that didn't exist before.
All right. So when you talk about Captain James Cook, you're talking about the very James Cook that committed atrocity against the Maori, right?
Well, he stopped by here. Whatever. You're talking to a monarchist, okay?
Oh, you don't like that, right? So you brought up a name and talking about how ridiculous it is to get rid of his statue. And then I bring up the atrocities he commit, and it's no big deal. He stopped by here. He tried to kidnap an indigenous leader of Hawaii so he could reclaim land, right?
Well, you think how do you think? Do you enjoy your cars? Do you enjoy your cell phones?
Like, I don't see what that has to do with anything.
I hate to say it, but
did he invent cars and cell phones?
No, but okay.
So my point is, I'm not going to.
No, you just say your point because you're going to.
I'm not going to venerate somebody that committed atrocity, took slaves. That's not a hero to me.
Nobody can hear you.
All right, so if you're not noticing, the white supremacist is trying to go off on a rant, but the white supremacist doesn't know how to use a microphone.
I am. Okay?
I am. No, you're audio. I'm going to have to mute you. Your audio is.
Go on, Rage. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, to me, to say that this is quote unquote woke mentality kind of takes away from the struggle of the past, 40 or 50 years of the civil rights movement trying to get rid of these statues.
So there should be a riot. There should be a riot in my hometown, and people just get together and go into a frenzy and start destroying things.
You know what people do in Canada is their own business.
They want to send a message like, let's get rid of all this colonialism. But hi, you live in a Commonwealth country. How do you think it got formed?
Well, I don't care how it got
regardless
formed.
of whether
It got formed based off of atrocity and slavery is how it got formed.
Yeah. Okay.
Should-
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Should we venerate that? Should we immortalize that? Should we
No,
should
but we can't
should we
erase
allow
history.
should we allow a
cannot
faction of
erase
people
history.
that see these people
who
as
erase
heroes?
history are doomed to report it. Like we will just keep creating. So instead of
How is taking down a statue erasing history?
it is. It absolutely is.
It's taking down a statue. It's not erasing history.
Because
at
you're
all.
not discussing it.
Sure, we are.
Good or bad.
The whole
that's
discussion.
culture
The whole discussion.
should be discussed. No. Okay.
I mean, so if you're pulling down the statue, that creates discussion. Do you not agree with that?
With a riot?
We're talking about it right. We're talking about it right now. We're having a discussion
let's
right now.
Riots like Portland in all of our cities because that's a healthy way to.
Now, after she leaves, she's gonna talk mad shit about me in the side chat. But like, this is fucking ridiculous, right? Straight fucking ridiculous. Like, we're literally having a discussion about it right now. How is it erasing history? How is it erasing discussion? How is it stopping discussion? In fact, tearing down those statues starts discussions. We're talking about it. My fucking God, Cryptomeria, do not be so fucking stupid.
To deal with our political issues. Thank you, Rage. You put it so clear. Those people downtown, they were just doing a public fucking service by destroying my city. Thank you. Yeah, that's the way to deal with awkward history.
Well, are we not having a discussion about that right now?
Well, yes, we are, apparently.
If I can interrupt on admin
Yes,
times.
Wild. Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry. I will mute.
You're fine. It's just that I've not had anything to eat all day, so I'm going to go into the kitchen. I'll mute, so I'll be listening, but I want to do some cooking as well, so I'll mute.
What are you making?
I've just cooked a piece of steak.
Oh man!
And I have ready to what noodles. So I think I'm going to do steak and noodles.
Oh, steak and noodles. That's
but I'll mute so you can carry on the conversation.
No worries.
Just so you know what's going
I
on.
think Rage has a few more points he would love to enlighten me with. So
yeah, I mean, so should we morally stand against fascism, stand against dictatorship, stand against authoritarian rule? Should we morally not be calling out slave owners and the practice of slavery?
have you seen what's going on in Canada these days? Like Trudeau is the biggest fascist. And it's all these like, oh, we're going to save the planet by doing selfies and jetting around the world.
So
like we're in different universes. Canada, where I am, is so different than where you are.
Well, yeah,
Like,
and I
think
can only.
You would be annoyed. You would be annoyed with these people.
I mean,
Honestly,
probably not.
you would be annoyed
not.
with all the like just. We're so like progressive and wonderful, except we want to cancel everything because it's offensive, and we really should have bubble wrap.
So do you? All right. So do you think it's only the woke left that is trying to quote unquote cancel things?
There is no right. I am right wing for Victoria, and I am not right wing. That's the ridiculous thing about
What do you mean? What do you mean? There's no right? No, you are clearly right wing. And what the fuck do you mean? There's no right wing. Do you live on this planet? Right wing.
We have such a small population of right wing people.
I would argue
is so far out of the center.
I would argue everything you've laid down so far is very right wing.
Well, good. At least I'm honest.
Well, no, yeah, I'm not saying anything about that. Well, you're honest. So is there a right wing or isn't there? Because I'm fucking confused. But so, all right. So when it comes to Canada, don't know much about Canadian politics.
No, you obviously don't.
But I'm not talking about Canada, though. You are. I'm talking. As far as I know, Canada didn't participate in the Civil War. As far as I know, Confederate statues aren't a Canadian issue. We're talking an American issue. Yo, get in the actual conversation. Talking about America and the history of slavery that we have here.
Center of the
I live in America. I live in America.
Slaves was all over the world.
I live in America, right?
Oh yeah, because but you don't understand anything about any of.
So the conversation is about tearing down Confederate statues. What does Canada have to do with that?
Other country, obviously. All your focus is
why
about
would I?
And
I mean, clearly you don't understand the dynamics of America, right?
I understand more than you do, boy. You.
Oh, so now I'm a boy. That's cool. I'm 45. I don't think I'm a boy anymore.
No.
Right, so, well, I mean, because you're jumping on me about not knowing the dynamics of Canada when I'm talking. But I'm talking. No, I'm not. I'm not. I am talking about an American issue that has nothing at all to do with Canada.
Oh well, it impacts anything that happens. You guys sneeze down there. It impacts us up here. Yet you don't give a fuck about my country. So why should I like?
Well, I see. Okay. So I never said that. If I had the option of moving to Canada, I would take it.
You get rid of everything. You just have your riots, which you call peaceful protests. Just enjoy it. Oh,
yeah. Riot. So are you? Whoever this. I told y'all, dumpster fire. I mean, if this ain't a dumpster fire, I don't know what the fuck is. AUM dude is. I understand that Native Americans, we have symbology. But the dude with the swastikas in their shit, we none of us can understand a single word you're saying.
You don't know your shit, man. You don't know nothing. You don't even understand what slavery is.
I can't understand a word you're saying.
Nobody can understand you. I am. Like, I'm not offended. Like, he's from the Ukraine. That is part of their culture. And me and him have had.
All right, I'm going to actually mention this. The fact that white supremacist boy is from the Ukraine really fucking sucks. I mean, honestly, because like all of these fucking conservative Christians that are anti-Ukraine, they take up that Russian line because Russia put out, oh, hey, Ukrainians are all white supremacists and we're doing this great favor to the fucking world. And the fact that Ukrainian boy in the bottom left now is a white supremacist, kind of proves, at least in this instance, would suggest that there's something to that.
Words about his symbols. And I'm not going to get into it here. Okay? I'm just not going to get into it.
Before you can name it, I don't think that's
too close to home. Me and him have had words, and if he turns his mic up, he can talk.
Right. So when you refer to riots, what are you referring to?
A group of people just getting together and burning and destroying things. I don't know.
I mean, what are you referring to specifically?
You can look it up.
Are you referring to taking down Confederate statues? Are you referring to the Black Lives Matters movement of a couple summers ago? I don't understand what you're referring to when you refer to riots. I'm kind of like, okay, I feel like you're trying to condone this type of behavior. You are totally okay. People get together in this mob mentality and just burn down their cities. That's fine because you are being progressive. You were just sending a message to the system. All right, because I take a position of Confederate statues need to be taken down, I condone mob mentality. Again, like she will not clarify what she means by riots. What are you fucking talking about? Do I support Black Lives Matter? Yes. Do I support civil disobedience in the face of police aggression? Yes, I do, without a fucking doubt. We have in this country something called the First Amendment, which kind of guarantees us that right. Now, do I support violence? No, I don't. Do I support burning cities to the ground? No, I don't. And I think I've actually been really one of the few lefties that will call out and condemn some of those Black Lives Matter protests that was, protesters getting out of hand, getting violent, getting destruction of private property. But the vast majority of those protests, the violence was instigated by the police, not progressive protesters. So, no, I do not support mob mentality. I'm against what happened on January 6th. In fact, it seems to me that the only ones that truly support mob mentality are the right wing of America now. So you think I condone riots?
Well, you obviously just said you did.
I think I've admitted to condoning taking down Confederate statues. I don't think I've ever condoned riots.
It happened in my city.
Well, that's in your particular city, right? So the movement to take down Confederate statues sometimes often.
I love you, Wild, but I am done. I am done for.
Why have a conversation if you can't listen?
You were so fucking arrogant and narcissistic, and you accused everyone else of it.
Name calling, cool.
You just
sweet
are just so.
I haven't called any names.
I'm done. Have a wonderful night.
Awesome. Have a good one.
Yeah,
cool.
Fuck off.
Peace. Oh, the dumpster fire was pure. It was short. It was heated. It made no fucking sense whatsoever. So, because I don't know what happened in your town, I'm not going to have an opinion on it either way because I don't know what fucking happened in your town. I support riots. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Do I support taking down Captain Cook's statue? You're fucking right, I do. Motherfucker was a monster. Motherfucker committed atrocity. We should not be venerating him. We should not be immortalizing him. You're damn right I support that. But, my position is we should try everything we can do to do it politically. Do it the right way before you just take it down. And I don't want them destroyed. I want these statues put in a place, a national museum, to where we can actually look at the true history and talk about these people in the true manner. Now, most of these statues, especially in the South, are a direct result of the Jim Crow era. They're a direct result of racist motherfuckers trying to put African American communities in their place. Make them know that just because they have this newfound freedom doesn't make them American citizens. And that is disgusting. And anybody that stands for that is disgusting, in my opinion. So, never called any names. So, now that I can actually get a point out, sometimes a result of this discussion about Confederate statues would result in a quote unquote riot, I guess. I don't think that it happens very. I'm not sure who Jason Voorhees is, Bree. I'd have to Google it often. But usually it's a political course of action that we're going through state municipals, we're going through state legislatures, we're going through sometimes even national legislatures trying to get these statues removed. It is the refusal to even listen to the issue, to even listen to our side of the issue, that will oftentimes lead to people doing civil disobedience, which is, I'm sorry, a fact of history throughout the course of our nation. Without civil disobedience, we would not have civil rights. We wouldn't not have the women's rights movements. Civil disobedience is constitutionally a right of ours if it is needed. So, this notion
why did the statues bother you in the first place?
This notion of, this being a left-wing woke mentality is just propaganda by the right wing to diminish. Nobody can fucking understand a word you say, dude. I can't understand a word.
The British, you got conquered, and we killed all the Native
Americans. That's all I hear.
Lost the war. That's all I hear.
That's all I hear, yo.
Lost the war, and you're gonna suck dick.
That's all I hear, yo.
If you piss off American people and you come out and take down a statue, and you really want a civil war, do you want us to completely annihilate you, you fucking idiots?
Didn't understand a word you just said.
No, you really have to get a better phone. I don't really need it. My camera is now in the kitchen.
So did not understand a word you just said. All right, so this mentality that this is some kind of left woke thing totally takes away from the repercussions after the civil rights movement from the 60s to the 70s all the way up until now. Woke is a new thing that right-wing people try to utilize to diminish our policy. Woke doesn't fucking exist. You know, I can make the same argument about right-wingers trying to conserve. You can say they're just being woke, right? Like, what the fuck does woke even mean? All right. So if you have a fundamental issue with people wanting to take down statues of fucking white supremacists, of statues of slave owners, and you have not swastikas in your fucking avatar, I think I have a right to fucking question you.
You're a fucking retard, man. You'll suck a fucking black ass.
All right, so we're back to ad homs. I have not called a single name or used a single slur this entire conversation.
You don't even know what slavery was. It was a business tool, dude. People didn't have money, so they fucking sold their people. Fucking blacks sold blacks. And then the white people.
All right, so the white supremacist is giving that white supremacist narrative like, oh my God, slavery, I mean, black people sold black people in Africa. Like, don't even know the fucking history. The reason why African tribes were selling their war fucking prisoners. What they would go to war with rival tribes. They would take prisoners and they would sell them to Europeans because Europeans were buying these prisoners and giving these tribes munitions, guns, firepower that the rest of the tribes didn't have, which gave them supremacy over their rivals. African nations sold people into slavery as a result of European slave trade. But this is one of the narratives that white supremacists are going to give you. And you can barely understand him, but you're starting to be able to understand some of his words.
People bought them, and then they came back to the marketplace and sold them to get their money back. Simple as that. Fucking idiot.
So I like Halcyonic Kaihu's definition of woke. Woke means to be aware of social issues and seeking social justice. Is that a bad thing?
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. Race is a social construct. Yeah, I'm not sure why Alex got timed out there.
It should not.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. So I will proudly don the mantle of being woke. But I will remind everybody, this started. There is this theory that Alex is Smokey Saint, and I haven't fallen on. I don't know where I fall on that because I don't see enough of Alex's comments to make a conclusion on that. But I've seen a lot of people say that for a long time, that this Alex character could be Smokey Saint. On Richard's channel, I'm the one that's being accused of being a bigot, not understanding fascism, not understanding empathy. Yet it's the other side in this conversation that has done the name calling, the ad hom attacks, and exhibited bigotry. I find that rather odd, don't you?
Listen, we had a spiritual conversation, and you came in and brought out this political bullshit. Go shove that political bullshit up your fucking dick.
So do white supremacists not have good microphones? Like, what the fuck?
Right, just to let you know what we're up to with the cooking, we have noodles, we have steak, and I'm just doing some sauce. So talk amongst yourselves, I'll be right back.
You know, I find it funny that people take so much issue with me wanting to take down statues of Confederates. For one, I probably every single person that has ever came against me on this has never actually been. Oh yeah, ZMR. I don't have any issue with that. And you know, just because, well, when I see this symbol right here, and you can see it much better than you could on Richard Matson's screen, and I'm going to point this out later. I'm not sure if we'll actually get there because Space Cadet will come in, and I'll actually have a pretty interesting conversation with her about what just went down. But I'm here to show the dumpster fire tonight. And Space Cadet, if you're out there, I would definitely consider you an ally. Would love to have you on the channel because very well informed, very well put points when she comes in. But oftentimes, white supremacists will use these more ancient symbols that will depict some form of the swastika as a dog whistle to their true beliefs. Now, if you're a collector, that's one thing, and doesn't imply anything at all. A lot of people are fascinated with World War II. I'm fascinated with World War II. I have studied World War II extensively. It was an obsession of mine for quite a long time. I have massive volumes on D-Day, on Normandy. I watched documentaries on World War II. As an anti-fascist, I want to see the rise of fascism, understand the rise of fascism. So, yeah, to me, the swastika itself isn't the issue. It was the usage of the swastika in his avatar mixed with the things that you can barely understand him saying, but the things that he was clearly saying, or not clearly saying, but the things that he was saying that we could barely understand, it was a little bit easier there to understand him in the stream than it was coming through. That's what led me to just know what this dude is, because white supremacists will often utilize these more ancient symbols as a dog whistle to their own that they are indeed of this ideology. Part of it, right? Like, so they've never actually been in the crowd standing against the quote unquote left wokeists that are there to take down these statues. Now, me personally, I have been in those crowds. I have kicked over fucking statues, and very proud of it. I think that my constitutional rights in the First Amendment guarantee me the ability to stand against injustice and equality in this country. Now, when I speak, I'm talking about the country I live in. I give two shits about Canada.
You're an atheist, man.
I still don't understand a word you're saying, AUM.
What does atheism have anything to do with it, you dumb little shit?
Alex, like, my only rule is like no bigotry, no slurs. That's like my only fucking rule.
It doesn't matter. No, it is not an issue.
Now, the form of bigotry that is acceptable is bigotry against Nazis. Like, right-wingers don't understand how bigotry against Nazis is a good thing. Like, seriously, if you want AUM, whatever your fucking name is, if you want to come against me on this, I don't know, I would kind of suggest using a different fucking screen picture because you kind of give yourself away, yo. You kind of give yourself away.
What the fuck are you talking about? You got no understanding.
I'm talking about those swastikas in your fucking avatars. What I'm talking about.
You fucking more. That's the hand of God. You stupid ass motherfucker.
Wow, the name calling, man. Are you so insecure that you just can't have a conversation?
Right, and we are going back to the front room.
I don't want to talk to stupid people like you, man. That's why it makes me mad, because you don't research anything. It's just pure bullshit. Because you're a fucking empty fucking head.
This is funny. So, Crypta, you realize that when I go to my Patreon page, I don't get pictures of my patrons, right? Did you post a picture on my Patreon? Because I don't get pictures of you on my fucking Patreon.
I don't know if Patreon works. I can't help with that one.
like I've never seen you in a stream before. I've only seen you in the side chats. I've never even seen you on a stream before. Never a picture on my Patreon. I don't get your point there. Because you're on my Patreon, I should know what you look like. I don't know what anybody looks like on my Patreon unless I've seen a picture of you.
Yeah, no, Quick Familiar is brilliant. I really like Quick Familiar, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to multitask and I'm not good at it, so I'm eating. So carry on.
Well, this Nazi needs to actually buy a headset so we could actually understand what he's saying.
Yeah, that would help. And welcome, my friend, by the way. Thanks for joining.
What's up?
I don't understand why Crypto's so mad because I'm being good. Like Red Fang, you've seen me get like despondent, right? Like I'm being good here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean anybody that's followed me long enough knows I'm on really good fucking behavior in this shit. Like I'm literally talking to a fucking Nazi right now, and I'm still on my best behavior.
You're being the nice one. I'm being the asshole right now. Because these dumb fucks think it's okay to have terrorist statues posted up and Nazi statues up. So
you don't fucking know your Nazi flag from your fucking dick. I'm telling you.
You're the one that's got a Nazi symbol on his fucking avatar, you dumb
fucking
shit.
moron. Read some
You're a
books.
fucking moron.
No,
Give me your Jersey accent, you piece of shit.
All right, so no, I understand it's not technically a swastika sign. Randolph Richardson is exactly right. It is tilted at an angle, and it is the symbol itself is ancient. It goes well beyond Nazism. It goes well beyond the Third Reich. All right, now I'm convinced. Alex is Smokey Saint, like all of that shit. But. In the modern world, we associate that symbol with Nazism. So if you're going to have that symbol on your thing there in any form or iteration, it's fine. And you can go on and explain how it's not, how this is an ancient symbol or whatever. But if you're going to defend, Nazis, well, then we can draw that conclusion. Well, maybe it's not an accident that you have that symbol specifically in your avatar.
You're the one putting labels on people. You're the one that brought up this whole political nonsense in this hangout. And that symbolizes.
Well, this whole hangout was dedicated to this political nonsense. We literally came over from Richard Matson's channel for this political nonsense. You came with us, dude. You stop being an idiot and be genuine and real.
You guys came in and changed the subject, okay?
Like the entire point of this stream was to continue this political conversation that we were having on Richard Matson's stream. Am I just like fucking bumfucked and like, maybe my sobriety is fucking with me, and I didn't realize that we had all agreed that we were going to continue that conversation here.
Yeah, no, I didn't say that. That is why I started the hang up.
Let me yeah, definitely do what y'all need to do with the Smokey apologist, Alex. I understand, Smokey, that you can't, it can't be known that you're on the internet with the fake name, but maybe be a little bit, utilize a little bit more subterfuge in your attempts. Smokey Saint apologists get no fucking play here, and anybody that's going to apologize for a pedophile, we probably need to look into you and your sexual habits. I'm just saying.
Continue because he couldn't get 10 people on. It was just to make more spaces. But welcome, Space Cadet.
Is Richard's stream still going?
I've not checked.
I didn't.
No. And I'm not sure what you're referring to. I did see that you had sent me something, SPM, on Facebook. Trying to pull it up a little bit, but it's I've got so much shit going on. I'll just wait till after the stream, and then I'll check it out. He stopped it, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, he said he'd be having a cigarette and then he'd come and join, I think.
Yeah. Richard isn't comfortable with politics, and it did veer to the politics because I was poking at William, and people had an issue with me poking at William, and that was between me and William, but people had an issue with it. Midnight had an issue with it. Other folks had an issue with it, which is fine. So come and tell me your issues, and don't give me this.
I don't have an issue with it.
Well, yeah, not you, Red Fang, but don't come and give me like nonsense about, woke leftist bullshit. Like, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. The statue debate is a direct result of the civil rights movement. It's been going on for 60 fucking years. Right? Like, and these statues, most of the statues we're trying to take down are a direct result of Jim Crow era laws. They were put there deliberately to put black people in their place. They need to be brought down, should be brought down, because we don't enslave black people anymore.
I agree they should be brought down. We should have like a
who brought
museum
black
of
people to
racism.
America? Was it black people who brought black people to America? No, it was the white people. that brought
That's
black
this
people
again.
to America.
Oh my God! So somebody
guy's
said you're
just
from
making an
Ukraine, and you're
excuse.
just like totally giving all the conspiracy theories about Ukrainians being fucking Nazis just legitimacy here, dude.
Making excuses for slavery not being so bad, I guess.
Yeah, I'm AUM, YTM, whatever. I'm a little bit pissed because I did stare at a red dot on the ceiling for 3 hours, and you said that it would give me psychic powers, and it didn't. So I'm a little bit pissed at you anyway. But your audio is terrible. Listen, at the moment, there's no point you talking because no one can understand a word that you're saying.
I know. I can't understand a word he's saying. But he told you to stare at a red dot for hours?
Yeah. Can you see that?
Oh, I see it. I see it.
And I put one on the ceiling. I did fall asleep for a bit of it. But he told me that if you concentrate, it will give you psychic abilities. It didn't. It was bullshit.
What? And Cryptomir in the side chat, I understand. I'm a dickhead. I'm a dick. I'm an ass. I don't run away from that. I don't think I'm being a dick or an ass here. I think I'm exhibiting my beliefs. I'm exhibiting what I believe in. I was asking you to clarify, and you just didn't clarify. You just yelled at me and called me names. So I don't think that I was the one being an asshole in this situation. Maybe you need to go back and watch it.
She should be happy I wasn't in the room yet.
Yeah, I could have been a lot worse. All right, we're coming to the end of it. The dumpster fire isn't technically over until white supremacist boy is kicked out. He's about to be kicked out because he's going to say something extremely fucking racist.
Right. No, the reading thing isn't going to.
Because I will be an asshole on this topic because people are promoting terrorists. These are traitors to our country. They shouldn't have statues. These statues are barely 60 years old. So they don't mean what they should mean. They just need to be tore down, put in a museum.
Oh, thank you, Kendra. And you know, hopefully I'll get a little bit more awesome in the sobriety aspect of myself now. But, you know, if y'all don't know, Kendra and Tobin have a new channel. I haven't had a chance to visit yet and subscribe myself. I'm going to. I've been meaning to. But, yeah, so guys, go check out their new channel.
Museum and be like, hey, these were the assholes that we defeated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Move the statue. Would that not solve it? Move the statue to like a museum so that you would
exactly
still have that.
So
it would be on public display.
Yeah, exactly. If we could have had a civil discussion, we could have gotten to the point where I would have agreed with you that we should not be destroying these statues. You know, the statue of James Cook that was tossed into the river or whatever, wherever it was tossed into. I don't agree with that. I think we should be taking political action. Right. I have aged. I'm not the young man, the young fiery man that I was when I was going to Chapel Hill to tear down a statue of General Lee. You know, yeah. I don't think I think this needs to be a political issue. I think we need to go through political municipalities and do it the right way. We could have gotten there, but it started with the name calling. So for anybody, if you're just going to label me as a left wokeist and not actually give me a chance to express what I think or what I believe, then I'm not being the unreasonable one in that conversation.
The thing is, though, like when it comes to certain types of people, like reason is something that they don't hold high on their list. You know, like,
I agree. Yep.
I personally think that a lot of people on that side of things, on like the MAGA side of things and Trump supporters and stuff, I think that they are kind of addicted to their rage, and like I feel that they need an enemy. Mm-hmm. I don't think they'd be happy without an enemy. I think they really need to hate someone and seethe against them, because I think that they kind of get off on the energy of it. They like the idea that they're self-righteous and they're taking action against this thing they think is terrible. I also think that they are very energized by just the confirmation, the validation they get from very popular news channel, plus hordes of people cheering them on, Trump himself, you know, giving them a.
All right, so Space Cadet coming in and saying something very reasonable, something calm, intelligent, easy to understand, sets the white supremacist off for some reason. Can't understand what the fuck he's saying as he's being set off, but like, yeah, I mean, so if this dude tries to come on your fucking channel, know what you're letting on your channel. Like this, all right, but he hasn't said it's going to be really, really soon when he says like just. He's already been racist as fuck several times, but you can't really understand him. But he's going to get racist as fuck.
Sort of pat on the head sometimes, like they live for that. That's their new meaning, their new purpose in life is to be this thing, this MAGA person.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with that. And Crypto, no, that's why I was trying to get you to clarify what you were talking about. So when you say that I agree it's okay for mob mentality, I was trying to get you to talk about like what you meant by riots. If you're talking about the Black Lives Matter movement, where the vast majority of the violence was actually started by police and not activists, well, yeah, I support the Black Lives Matter movement. If you're talking about an all-out riot, of course I don't support a riot. That's why I was trying to get you to clarify. You didn't. You just chose to start tossing out ad homs. And that's the thing, because they say that we agree with mob mentality. And I'm not saying that Cryptomira is a Trumper, but a lot of these people that would post that this idea that the Black Lives Matter protest that a lot of them turned into quote unquote riots because police started violence against the activists. I don't agree that that's what you're trying to make it out to be, but a lot of these same people in this country, in America, who would go against what happened 2 summers ago are all gung-ho for what happened on January 6th. See, I'm not the inconsistent one here. Maybe you should look in the mirror,
Right. And plus you got the whole idea that like, Black Lives Matter is for a very specific thing, the gunning down of unarmed Black men and boys, and the treatment of Black people in general in the justice system, and just arrests and sentences and all.
Man, I've never met Space Cadet before, but she's like one of my new favorite people. Like I really enjoyed her commentary in this, and we're not going to get all of it, but man, just fucking reasonable as hell. And Cryptomeria, if you're not unsubbed yet, if you're in the background listening or whatever, just the next time you're in one of these conversations and the white supremacist in the room is in agreement with you, your position might be wrong, yo. I'm just saying.
It's proof, like, that Black people are not treated fairly. And they're being killed, by police, I believe, at higher rates than anyone else. And so that's for a very specific.
Immutable. I haven't seen you in so long. I've missed you so terribly.
Specific thing, like that's a very narrow. I mean, it's narrow and it's not narrow, but like it's for justice. When you look at January 6th, that's based on a lie. I mean, they're just like. It's not based on justice. It's based on the lies of a con man who conned them.
Yeah.
How horrible would it be for them to have to admit that they've been conned? This is what part of the struggle is. They don't want to admit that they've been conned, that they've been had by this.
Never mind.
This,
I want to get to the racist.
Grifter.
It's so bad for them here in America. Why don't they move back to Africa?
I'm kind of glad that we can't really hear.
Wow, you are a complete fucking racist. Oh, did y'all catch that? Because it's hard to understand them. I'm gonna bring it back just a little bit because it's so hard to understand the racist fucking thing that this motherfucker just said. Why isn't it giving me a timestamp? Damn it! All right, I don't know. So let's just go back a little bit.
This, swindler, grifter.
It's so bad for them here in America. Why don't they move back to Africa?
I'm kind of glad that we can't really hear.
Wow, you are a complete fucking racist douchebag, aren't you? So his problem, what he just said, and I still can't fucking really understand it, but I got the gist of it, and hopefully you did too. He's pretty much like, if Black people have such a problem with America, why don't they just move back to fucking Africa? I'm talking
Fucking
to you,
racist.
you white supremacist fuck.
Didn't you just say it was so bad for black people in America? Tell them to move back to Africa. See how they like it over there.
Oh, that's not going to
So you're acting like they had a choice about being here in the first place.
Yeah, no.
All right, let me unmute. Yeah, racist, white supremacist, fuck. And you know, I try not to trigger people into calling you a Blairite neoliberal knock. Like, so neoliberal is what? Like, here, let me. I'll Google it just to make sure that I have the correct definition. Just a second. All right, so a political approach that favors free market capitalism, deregulation, and reduction in government spending. I don't think anybody could label me a neoliberal. I also, you know, I personally lump in pro-war into neoliberalism myself, and I'm definitely anti-war. So I'm not quite sure the point you're trying to make, Immutable. It doesn't make much sense to me. Maybe you're just joking, because I think I'm like the opposite of that. Part of me really wants to watch a little bit more. I think I'm done. Because, you know, Space Cadet, I enjoyed talking to her, and we did continue talking for a little bit longer, but that is the end of the dumpster fire, and what a dumpster fire it was. I think I was on pretty good behavior. I honestly do. I think I was on some of my better behavior. I think definitely not being intoxicated going into a situation like that. In fact, it was like just yesterday I was talking about, you know, I really want to get into a situation now that I'm sober, to where before I might have lost my shit. And I think that was one of those situations where before I would have clearly lost my shit and didn't. So, yeah, what a fucking dumpster fire clusterfuck that was. I don't think it's unreasonable or even an extreme position to want to take down statues of Confederate soldiers. I will grant that it might be a bit of an extreme position to take down like statues of founding fathers, but then again, I'm for that as well. I don't want to venerate slave owners. I don't want to venerate Corporal Custer. Everybody calls him General Custer, but he was never a fucking general. For the atrocities he committed on Native Americans. I don't want to venerate Andrew Jackson for the atrocity committed against Native Americans. Sue me. I don't think that that's an untenable position. I don't think that that's an extreme position. I think that that's a morally just position. And I think if you're a moral person, you would hold the same position. Right-wing politics is a politic of hate. Pure and simple. So what's up? It also holds that governmental structures are something fundamental to a society and aren't capable of being overridden. Yeah, but I don't think that I hold that position either. I see Midnight, you finally showing up. You didn't follow me over to Wild Heart. You had so much to fucking say. But all right, that was the dumpster fire. First one in a while, y'all. First one in a while. I think I held my ground pretty well, you know, considering, you know, I had no facts at hand, just my own personal knowledge. I think I did pretty good. I think that I slipped up. I definitely, you know, in the Richard Madsen stream, if you're going to take issue with any of the things that I said, it would probably be some of the things that I said in that Richard Madsen stream there at the beginning, where I'm talking about pre-fascism atrocities having fascist tendencies. I think that people could take issue with that, understandably so. The rise of fascism happened in, the 1950s or 1930s, something like that, with Mussolini in Italy and then Hitler in Germany. So, yeah, if anybody's going to take issue with any of the things that I said, it would probably be that. But when it comes to Confederate statues, to me, I mean, just being honest, if you take the position that these statues shouldn't be come down, I'm going to assume you're a racist. I just do. I'm sorry. Prove to me that you're not. Because your position implies something. You know, these statues, it's not art. These statues, most of them were created in the Jim Crow era for a very specific reason. Slavery is morally unjustifiable. The support of slavery is morally unjustifiable. And to claim that progressiveness is somehow this bad thing is just stupid. We need to progress. We need to progress more than we have. But I am me. I've always been me. I haven't really changed that much since I've started doing this YouTube thing. I've changed on some positions. I kind of waffle back and forth on anti-theism. I was considering showing a debate tonight between Ocean Keltoy and Vosh. One of the few debates that I've ever seen where I feel like Vosh not only lost but got handled. I think Ocean Keltoy, being a heathen pagan, is hard for people with an anti-theist position to go against. And I think that the debate that I watched today between Vosh and Ocean Keltoy, yeah, I think Ocean fucking wrecked that shit, and I almost showed that shit tonight. I might still show it. I don't know, but both of them are a bit above my intelligence level. I'm not afraid to admit it. I know who I am. I know who I am. I know my faults. I know my strengths. And I'm still learning about myself, so I find new faults. I find new strengths. I like who I am, usually. There's been moments when I haven't. I'm coming out of a depression where I'm starting to really like myself again. But it is good to see you again, Immutable. I haven't seen you in quite a while. I miss your staunch opposition of myself. And I want to thank all of you guys for sharing in this brilliant dumpster fire tonight. I thought it was great. Crypta, I'm sorry that you don't like me anymore. But I think if you watch this back when you're sober, you're going to realize I wasn't the one being a dick. And I'm not knocking you. Like, I've been there. If anybody understands, it's your boy. It's your boy. Now, the white supremacists in the room can go fuck themselves. Seriously. Racism isn't cool, bro. I don't care where you live. Plenty of reasons to hate people besides the color of their fucking skin. Give somebody enough time to show themselves to you. You can find a reason to dislike them besides some superficial reason of skin pigmentation. You know, you would think that once we started to go on the microscopic level, that we would notice there's very few differences, if any. We're all made up of the same stuff. We're all just human beings. And I think that we should personally start on a level of respect until you get to know somebody and they give you reason not to respect them anymore. Whatever their sexual orientation is, whatever their skin color, whatever their political beliefs. Just because you're a Republican doesn't mean you're deplorable. You need to prove that. Unfortunately, today, I think Crypta did, and I think that the white supremacists did. And I'm sorry for that. Now, I wish Midnight would have came over and shown some balls, participated. I wish Jamie Russell would have came over and shown some balls and participated in Flow State. All those people that were so wanting to have the conversation that they didn't come over and have it. But hey, then maybe the dumpster fire would have never happened, and I wouldn't be showing you a dumpster fire today. The first one in quite a few weeks. It's been a while. Needed to fill up on that dumpster fire fuel there. Oh, what's up, Andy? How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. I was just asking, like, do you still stream in the morning? Because I never see you streaming in the morning. I've been trying to find and come in. But yeah, good to see you guys. I think the channel's picking up. I think the channel's going in the right direction. I want to thank everybody that donated. I am in some tough times now. I'm talking to Social Security disability lawyers, trying to start that process, but really hoping to find a job. I need to find a job I can do on my feet. But like yesterday, a day's worth of job hunting, and I could barely walk today. So I don't think I can work. It sucks. It sucks. They need to fix my feet. But now the doctors are telling me that even if I get the surgery, it's only like 50-50. I'll be good. And they don't seem like they want to really give me the surgery, so just really fucking tough place I'm in right now. So I really appreciate all the donations. I got to get better about plugging that shit, doing this donation thing. My links are in the description below, and I did mention at the beginning of the stream, I got my merch store going again. So let me show you guys. I got the original. Fuck, damn camera likes to go up. I got the original Raging Atheist shirt, and I'm going to be adding to it. But the design of Dr. Josh Bowen and Megan, his wife. So, get it while it's hot, yo. Get it while it's hot. So far, I think me and Dr. Josh are the only ones that own this t-shirt. So, yeah, I want to thank you guys for joining. I want to thank you guys for listening to the dumpster fire today, putting up with the white supremacists there. And no, I'm not talking about you, Crypto. You just cray-cray. You're not a white supremacist, I don't think. But the other dude, definitely, without a doubt. I want to thank Wildheart for letting me come on. I want to thank Richard Madison for letting me come on. I want to thank anybody that lets me come on to their stream still, considering, some of my behaviors, being intoxicated over the years. I admit it. I can be a dick. And if I get slapped drunk, I can be quite unreasonable. I'm trying to fix that. I'm thinking from here on out, I'm hoping it's going to be better. And I did notice Alex's comment, like, funny that an atheist getting sober. It's not really by choice. It is by choice, but it's a matter of I want to live. I want to live as long as possible and, see my daughter grow. My lungs have been shit. I should have quit smoking a long time ago. The one thing I'm still struggling with is cigarettes. Which I'm not smoking cigarettes, but I'm still smoking tobacco. Not nowhere near as much as I was. But that's the one I'm having a really hard time with. Gave up my medications. That was a bit tough. I went through some shit giving up my medications. Drinking wasn't hard. I'd only relapsed for a few months. Weed wasn't hard. Fucking blew my mind away because I can't remember not smoking. I thought it'd be a lot harder. But yeah, I'm struggling with tobacco. But I want to thank everybody that's donated, that's helping me out, everybody that's watching. I'm really enjoying the direction of the streams. Now, probably Thursday night, maybe Friday night, I'm going to have a room. It'll be a small room. I can only have up to 6 people. I really want to set up my OBS so I can have a good presentation of it. And I think that I'm going to enjoy the small rooms better because in 10-person rooms, I just think it's really hard for everybody to be involved. And that's going to be my goal, is to keep everybody in the room involved. I might try to set them up with people to begin with. I don't know. But I really like the direction. It seems like the Raging Atheist is getting back to what the Raging Atheist did before Smokey Saint. And I think if I can do that in this new sober frame of mind, this could turn into something really, really good. I do hope in my sobriety not to be so emotional, not to be so pointing the finger and, oh, immutable destiny, you suck. But again, I am who I am, so we'll see if that actually happens. And I really need to get some duct tape for my fucking camera. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I had fun. Cryptomeria. I really did. I want to thank you for giving me that opportunity to see, am I going to still flip the fuck out? Go, ah. Now that I'm sober, and I don't think I did. I think I held my shit together pretty good. Considering. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon.